O Great Spirit, Namaste. Saints and sages of all times, of all places, Namaste. O ye powers that be, Namaste. Ancestors, ancestors, ancestors of all of our lineages, bloodlines, non-bloodlines, ancestors of all of our lineages, Namaste. 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 Most beloved and precious Ishtatevata, in all of thy names and all of thy forms, Namaste. Om Shri Babaji Namaha. Om Shri Lahiri Mahasayaji Namaha. Om Shri Teshwarji Namaha. Om Shri Paramahansa Yoganandaji Namaha. Om Shri Sadguru Shaliji Namaha. Om Shri Swami Pranananda Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be with us. Sweep clear the path that we might see, that we might hear, that we might know that which needs to be done. Om Shri Ravi Namaha. Om Shri Chandra Jiva Namaha. Om Shri Mangala Jiva Namaha. Om Shri Buddhaji Udiji Namaha. Om Shri Brihaspatiji Namaha. Om Shri Sukraji Namaha. Om Shri Saniji Namaha. Om Shri Rahuji Namaha. Om Shri Ketuji Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Welcome to my heart. Welcome to our Sunday meditation. Once upon a time, once upon a yogi time, in the ever-present now, there was a young woman, a young man, a young person, sitting in the middle of a very, 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 very large gathering of people. Millions of people lived in this one place on Mother Gaia. And so there was a soul there. And like all, it had wonderful, wondrous, wondrous good things that happened. But somewhere along its life, it started picking up a habit, gluiness, if you will, a habit of glue. And negative thoughts started rising in its mind regularly. Self-defeating thoughts, critical thoughts, thoughts of anger. And it had a magical device, little square magical device. And so every time a negative thought could rise in its mind, it would use its thumbs And instead of taking the thought and stopping it, instead of taking the thought and stopping it at the mouth, what did it do? Why, it kept its mouth shut, but it let its fingers do the work. And that thought spread and spread. Not only to the millions, some of the millions, not all of them, living in this village, but all around the planet. All around the planet, people had the opportunity to hear these thoughts. They grew, they grew, they grew, they grew. Now, interestingly, the soul didn't have to get up off its Saturn chakra. She didn't have to get up off her Saturn chakra. He didn't have to get up off his Saturn chakra. It did not have to get up off its Saturn chakra. Don't be offended by that it. We don't have a neuter noun in English to use. I guess I could say they. They jumped from this thing to this thing to this thought to that thought. And the mind became critical. Very critical, very sharply critical of others. And so someone would say something, they would hear something, they would think something, and they would feed it. And it grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew, till from that soul, tendrils reached out to the entire world, filled with gluey stickiness. Now, on occasion, there was something positive that was sent out, something positive that was sent out. What happened? Oh, what happened? Why? She is in the center of all that she sent out. And so this gluey glumpiness seized her. Seized her. She became angry. She became like a whirlwind. She was racing. I said it before. Here, there, here, 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 here. Everything had to be done fast. And if somebody didn't do it as fast as she wanted, she became critical. Not she, her mind had gained the habit of criticism, had gained the habit of criticism. One day, she was in pain, a lot of pain. She was screaming. She was in so much pain. Screaming internally, screaming, screaming, screaming. And she looks down and she sees that all of those thought forms, why, they had turned into a big bush. And it was right in front of her. In fact, it was sitting on her lap and she had her legs around it. She had her arms around it. She was grabbing it. It was a bush. And all over that bush were beautiful leaves. And hidden in the leaves were thorns. Big, big, big thorns. So every time she reached to grab what she thought was goodness, she was getting thorns. She was hurting. She was bleeding. Oh, it was really a mess. Really a mess. And so she continued to moan and wail. Well, her next door neighbor was little Yogi. The next door neighbor heard the moaning and wailing and, excuse me, are you all right in there? Is everything all right? You sound like there's some crisis going on. Did something happen? Can I help you? Oh, everything in the world is wrong. Everything is so wrong. Everybody else, they take too much time. I can do it so much better than they can, but it's so hard to do everything by myself. I need help, but I don't want their help. They don't do it the way exactly that I would like it. And did you see this person over there, what they were doing? And did you see the guy upstairs and what he was doing? Oh, looks like you've been seized, haven't you? Well, I don't know what you mean by being seized. Everything's a mess here. I can't get anything done, and it's not my fault. Tell you what, why don't you take that magical device that you have, the one that's long, the one that you use your thumbs with, turn it off for a minute. Turn it off. Turn it off. I can't do that. I can't turn it off. So it's captured you. It's captured your whole life. It's captured you. Has it not? All right, I'll try. Let me just try. Put it down, turn it off for just a minute. You turn it right back on. And so he, she, he sets it down. Can you hear it? The infinite Lord of stillness has entered the room. She said, he said, oh, wow, I feel better. Now, said little yogi, you have to sustain that. What are you feeling right now? Oh, it's been too long since I've been without my magical box. I'm relieved, but I need to go back to that. Who am I if I'm not sharing my opinions? Who am I? And anyway, why did this happen today that you showed up? Well. You see in the sky, Lord Mars. Lord Mars sitting in the constellation of Gemini, causing your mind, seizing your mind, influencing your mind to go this way and this way and this way, to be very critical, to be arrogant, to be rude. No, it's not your nature. I know it's not your nature, but I see it beginning to happen. And thus it is important to act before this goes on again and again and again and again and again. Stop for just a moment and see if you can hear and feel the infinite Lord of stillness. Close your eyes. Now let go. Wasn't that wonderful? Just delicious to be in the presence of the Lord of stillness. And the young being, I think we better give him a name. A hopeful name. Jai, Jai, Jai. Jai, Hin Jai. So I felt the silence and turned to the yogi and said, what do I do? What's happened to me? I'm afraid. And every time a fear arises in my mind, I send it into the world. Every time it arises, I send it off to the world. And that seems to make it worse. I don't know what to do. What do I do? Somehow I feel as if I have to tell everyone what I'm thinking. And I know it's not good, but I can't stop myself. I seem to be seized by these overwhelming desires that control me. Have you ever had that happen? Yeah. The yogi nodded. Yes. So what do I do? Well, the first thing, sit silently. Take a minute and look. What is it that is causing you? What is it that is allowing you to feed these thoughts, to feed these fears, to feed these moments of discontent? Now here's practice, the little yogi said, the Jai, that will bring you victory. You sit down and close your eyes. Now, you're not going to meditate yet. That comes in a minute. Don't worry about that. It's not here. Close your eyes and just be aware. Have your awareness above your mind, above your head, about 18 inches. Just be aware of any thought that comes in your mind. And watch any self-critical or doubtful thought that comes in. Now what do? You take that thought and you back it up. Say that thought is, I can never let my device down. I'm going to be nothing in the world if I leave my devices down. Take it back one step. I have to express my opinion. One more. What comes before that? I will be nothing without my opinion. One more. Oh, people won't pay attention to me if I don't express my opinion. I will get lost in the world. Who am I without my opinions? You come back. All those negative thoughts, fear-filled thoughts. And you say, oh, I have to do something different. What do I do? I look at that thought and I say, every day in every way, I am thinking. Happier, more joy-filled, wiser, more expansive. You define it. Thoughts. Every day in every way, I am becoming more and more peace-filled. Every day in every way, I'm becoming more and more joy-filled. First, you have to be willing to let go of those thorns, to let go of the thorns that you're spreading into the world, to let go of the difficulty that you're spreading into the world. And you may say, I'm not spreading difficulty. But every word that you say, every thought that you think has power to it. And it's either the power to influence positively your life, the lives of those around you, or it's the power to squash, to hurt. So many times we hurt unknowingly, by being careless, the little yogi was saying. Think how many times you have done things in your own self-interest. For there is a song that is sung in the world today. And it is the me, 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 I, me, me, me. Only it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like me, I, mine, mine, mine. And thus the yogi goes on to say, there is a problem with language. There is a problem with using the words. How often are you saying in your world, in your life, me, my, mine, I? Watch, begin to hear yourself as you communicate. Begin to hear yourself as others hear you, as others speak. How often do you go to spend time with people, and you do this practice? You watch. It's amazing. It's just amazing. It has become clear in the practice of this sadhana that there's some people, you'll walk into their home and they live with a husband that they've lived with for 30 years, 25 years, 40 years, 5 years, 2 years, and everything is about welcome to my house. These are my children. This is my dog. Now it may be your dog or your cat. But the question is, where do we stop? Why do we stop including others who are clearly part of our lives? Well, the house is not yours unless you are living in a house by yourself and it truly is a house you have made yourself. The children are not yours. There is a kind of a possessiveness of the mind, a seizing of the mind, a grasping of the mind that occurs that says, in order for me to be comfortable in this world, I must be identified as whatever that is. Let it go. Let it go. Observe. Observe how often others use it. Observe when you're writing, whether you say I wish or mine, whether every paragraph begins with I, every sentence begins with I or my, and correct it. Correct it. Correct your speaking. It's a spiritual practice to correct your speaking. Now, the little yogi Jai said, you're just telling me, I just have to back my thoughts up, back my thoughts up, back my thoughts up. Yes. It's a retraining of the mind that we must do. A retraining of the mind, a reforming a new samskara, a new habit, a new way of looking at the world. And as you do this, as those old confining thoughts are dissolved away, are let go of, your mind, your consciousness expands. For we think we are far more important than anybody else does, really. I mean, you think about yourself far more than you think about anybody else, I would hope. Maybe that's not true. Maybe you're seized and you think about somebody else more than yourself. Now this is confusing, isn't it? I'm saying that you need to think about yourself, and I'm saying at the same time, the little yogi is saying, what is this with all this me, my, mine, I? And so what is the answer? Well, Kriya Yoga is a path predicated upon the laws of karma. The entire science of Kriya Yoga is predicated upon the laws of karma and upon the principle that you and you alone can change your life, You and you alone can soften your karma, can dissolve the difficult karmas. Nobody can do it for you. They can help you if you turn, if you open, if you wish, if you are aware. They can help you. We're all still learning a lesson, myself included. Myself included. No. There is a way to accept help. There is a way to say, I need help. Please help me, help me. No. Calling upon life, saying, I need you to send the right people. I need you to send the right persons to help for this need I have. Now here was the problem. Here's a little yogi talking to Jai, and Jai's listening carefully, and all of a sudden he forgot to silence the button on his phone. And that little ding, ding, ding. You know that ding. The text coming in or the news flash coming in. And it took him away from the little yogi. And he went right back instantly. I have to see what's going on in the world. Now, it is said that in the days of old, Lord Shiva, the Lord of the yogis, was making love with his wife for 100,000 years in concentration, in making love with his wife. That's a long time. He's a great Lord. It's a myth. But Agni, the Lord of fire, linked to Lord Mars, came up and distracted Lord Shiva. And there went the end of the 100,000 years. His concentration was broken by the fire, by the heat, by Martian energy. Now, the Martian energy is energy that we need to live upon the earth. You need it for your physical body to run, to exist, right? But like the little yogi, become distracted by the sound, Lord Shiva distracted by the energy, the fire of Mars. You and I, we are distracted. We become distracted. We become distracted from the concentrated goals of our lives. Or we don't have any. We're just running along the stream of karma. And really, truly, my guru says 99% of the time, you're running on the field of karma. You're running on the track of karma. You're running on your history. You're running on your history. You're running on all those things you did before and all those things that you're doing now. And they're adding up and they're propelling you forward. And if you're in the right time, in the right place, you will be seized by the karma and go along. Right along the track, right where you're supposed to be. But if you've been practicing, see, that was what Jai missed. He just turned the device off, the magical device off. He hadn't practiced yet. If you're practicing, you gain the strength, you gain the skill because of your concentration. So when that energy sweeps along and says, hey, hola, I'm here. Pay attention to me. I'm here. Oh. It does not seize you. You can thus go forward. So concentration begins. It's the beginning of the path. The yogi said to Jai, you must see the thoughts that are rising in your mind and where they are taking you. But take the thought of doubt, take it back, take it back, and take it back. And then create a more affirming thought, a thought that lifts your self-confidence, not arrogance, but self-confidence. Now we're entering into this period between now and the early part of January in which the Mars is station point retrograde. And so there will be a tendency sometimes, because it's in Gemini, the Mars at this time, tendency maybe to speak more harshly, to speak quicker, to speak without thought, speak carelessly, to think, I know how it should be more arrogant. And so what is the practice? The practice is to stop. Watch the thoughts. Take one thought at a time. If you do this just 5 minutes a day, your mind will begin to say, oh, I see. They want me to pay attention. I see. That's what I should be doing, paying attention. Excuse me. I should be paying attention. And then find the courage. And I mean this really. Find the courage to break free to a new thought. You think the thoughts that you have thought before, over and over and over and over and over again. The thoughts of doubt rise up in your mind. The thoughts of fear rise up in the mind. And really, truly, the thought of fear is really the most prevalent for most people, I think is the word. It is fear that causes the insecurity in the mind. It is fear that says, I want to be better than this person. I want the world to see me as better than this. It is fear that causes lying. It is fear that causes greed. No, greed is your fear that there won't be enough. Lying is that the truth, you won't be accepted. It won't be enough. And so, truly, what must be done? Begin with the concentration. Yeah, maybe before that. Begin with acceptance of yourself. That's really where you begin. Accepting yourself where you are now. And so for Jai is holding onto a thorn bush that is covered with leaves, but within it contains millions and millions and millions of thorns. And Jai grabs that thorn bush thinking, oh, it's so beautiful. It's so alluring. It's so beautiful. And then touches it and the thorns are there. And then holds it and the thorns are there. And then holds it tighter and the thorns are there. And all of the goodness and all of the beauty becomes dissolving. It dissolves away. It is overwhelmed by the thorns. Now the laws of karma say that which you feed grows. You know that? You need sunshine for a plant to grow. Give it sunshine, it grows. It needs water. Give it the right amount of water, it grows. It needs food, it grows if you give it the right amount. But if you give it too much of anything, it becomes a monstrosity. And this is what happens when we focus too much on our opinions, when we focus too much on criticism of others, when we focus too much on forgetting how to be happy in our own lives. That is an important, important thing. You are entitled create the life you want. In fact, that's the nature of the earth plane. You are creating the life you want. You're going to create the life you want, without a doubt. What you do in your life every day makes a difference. How you live your life, what you say to others, what you say to yourself makes a difference. If you look up in the morning and you say, oh, hi, good morning. It's nice to see you again. We're still here. We're still on the earth. You wake up and you're like, hello. Sorry, I can't do it. Hello. Really got to purse that lip. Shoulders are down. Life is miserable. No. Lift, 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 lift. And so you begin, keep saying, you begin. That's the key. You are beginning. Every breath you begin again. How wonderful. A new beginning. And I wonder where that memory came from. That breath, that memory that took me away from you to someplace far away. Interesting. But every breath you have an opportunity to begin again. And so why is this important? Because, my beloved, you need to know, if you fall down, just get up again. If you fall down, just get up again. If you make the same mistake over and over and over, just get up again. If you become concerned because your mind has become agitated, just get up again. If you become concerned because you see something that you don't like about your mind, just get up again. Get up. Stand up. And if you need help, lean upon the earth. Lift yourself up from the earth. Stand. If you need help, call out to others. Help me to stand. This morning I need a little assistance. And you will have help from life. From all the others that are here in life, you will have help. To concentrate means to bring your mind to a point of single focus with effort. Were you to concentrate on this beloved symbol, just the symbol, not the face behind it, but just the symbol, that Om. Concentrate on that and on that alone. You would be amazed what will happen. With effort, concentrate upon the Om. Especially when it's been blessed by my Guru. A blessed Om. Any Om is blessed. Concentrate. In your life, your daily life, you must find something to concentrate upon. Besides, like Jai, that thing that was in its hands that was spreading all the thoughts onto the world. See, we have moved into, and we'll be moving into greater period of time. As we move, you'll see it first in March of 2023 and into July of 2023, and then for 2024 and for the next 20 years, you're really going to see this happening. And what will be happening is that there will be people who will be attuned to Mother Gaia, attuned to their primary practices, attuned to their spiritual practices. And there will be those who will be seized by, not using, but seized by and living their life virtually. Now, the technology is a blessing for us. We wouldn't be here today without it. But too much of anything, too much water, The land sweeps away, the trees sweep away, the houses sweep away, the animals sweep away, the humans sweep away. Everything sweeps away. Too much of anything, and the nature dissolves away. And so the nature of the self will begin to dissolve. The nature of the human ego will change and shift in ways that are not healthy, in ways that are not conducive to your spiritual unfolding. And so begin to be aware of it now. Say, all right, now I need to develop the skills that are going to help me to concentrate. The skill of concentration is lost. It is just lost. It is being lost more and more. So take a pen, a beautiful pen, and a piece of paper, and concentrate. Write a dozen ohms. Write 1 ohm beautifully. Write 108 ohms with the pen on the paper until your ohms are beautiful and they are consistent. And you can sit down today and write a beautiful ohm. And you can sit down tomorrow and write a beautiful ohm. And you can sit down Friday and write a beautiful ohm. And you can sit down when you're feeling agitated, the body is feeling agitated, and write a beautiful ohm. And then you take that ohm and you write it at your sun center. And you concentrate on it until you can see it clearly at your sun center. You see it clearly. Then you can draw it in internally and feed your entire being with that. So it begins first with concentration, concentrated, directed activity. And then when you have mastered that skill of concentration, you let go of the effort and you move easily into meditation. And now let me tell you something. Please. Those souls that say to you, oh, yes, I was meditating for 6 hours. I was meditating for 12 hours. I was meditating for 18 hours. I am thinking that what they are doing is not meditation, but what they are doing is concentration. Meditation occurs in very, very short periods of time. And then you move into concentration, and you move back to meditation. Concentration, meditation. And in time, when you have returned to meditation enough, you will find your way to Samadhi, the awareness, balanced self-awareness. So what have I said? What has happened with Jai? And Jai is important because Jai is victory. Jai is victory over the confining karmas. The confining karmas that are hidden beneath the allurement of the beautiful bush. You know, you pick up a rose. I have a favorite rose. It's called a Pink Floyd. Very beautiful. It has a beautiful, beautiful smell to it. Really, really love this rose. But it has thorns. So you reach for the rose with anticipation and joy because you could smell the scent of it. It's so gorgeous. And the flowers are beautifully green. But as soon as you reach in, there's a thorn or 2 or 3 or 4. And so it needs to be handled with delicacy, care, I guess is the word. Just as your karma does. Jai, to have victory, Jai needed to stop spreading all of the negative thinking, all of the opinions that are just setting up conflict between us. Needed to stop that. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Not needed, not needed, not needed. Let it go. So you and I need to do the same. And when you see when we see thoughts that are not helpful, thoughts that are critical, thoughts that are fear-filled, thoughts that are worrying, one at a time, take it. Step back. Oh yes, this preceded that thought, this preceded that thought, this preceded that thought. Whenever I go to France, I have a problem, a petite problem. Now, I should preface this by saying I've had many past lives in France. I went to French finishing school for girls when I was 4 years old, started at 4. So I learned to speak the language early in this lifetime. But to my ear, I don't speak it right. I do not speak the language properly. And so I will go to France, and if I'm speaking to someone that I don't know, I will do my best. I will do my best, and I know that there are grammatical errors, and I will try, but I really try. And then I always say, please correct me if I'm wrong. But if I get among my friends who speak good English, much better than my French is, I choke up. Can't even order, can't even order coffee or, Now I will say now I am better. This is a state that was there before. But I kept asking myself one time when I was in France, why? What's the problem? Well, they're going to criticize me. Well, I know I'm not speaking it like a native. I know that I should be fluent, and I'm not. And I went back and back and back, and it was fear of embarrassment. And I could feel it here, right here, just choked right there, So what do? You study, you meditate, concentrate, you meditate. You do what you can to remove the fear. And so for me, it was, learning to say, I'm sorry for my poor language. Please forgive me before I start speaking. And usually that helps. But know that within you is the same thing that is this choking for me that occurs when I'm in France. Know that it's there. You have your own piece of karma, your own pieces of karma to work through. Free yourself. And now I need to say this. There's some of you here whose work is to help others. You have accepted the karma of helping others. You are not responsible for their karma. Do you hear me? Jesse, do you hear me? You are not responsible for their karma. You are not responsible for healing them. They, and they alone, they come to you because they need your help. They come to you because they know within themselves that you, at some way, some level, can help them. That you have solved a problem, that you know the way to solve the problem that they have. But you are not responsible for solving their problem. Ever. And if something happens and they can't solve the problem, and something happens that they hurt themselves or that they are hurt and they can't solve the problem, you are not responsible for solving their problem. And in time, the problem will be solved. They will solve it. Whether it's this lifetime or it's 7 lifetimes from now, they will solve it, and your help will make a difference. But, as my guru used to say, stop trying to help other people. He used to say, stop trying to do good. That wasn't the right way. The word just went out of my mind. Stop trying to interfere in the lives of others. Now, when you're a helper, when you are a therapist, when you're a healthcare worker, when you're a mother, when you're a father, when you're somebody who is helping others, it is hard to not want to take care of them. But always we must know you're responsible for you and alone, yourself alone. You can pray for them, that you can give them the techniques, you can give them the practices, you can listen with compassion, but you can't live their life for them. So the last thing that the little yogi said to Jai is, I think you need a new plant there. Maybe you need a new plant without any thorns. Maybe you need to become friends with a tree that can shelter you, whose bark you can rest your cheek upon, whose leaves will vivify your life. Maybe you should find a tree of life and sit under that and be nourished and protected. And so I offer you this. Let us join in meditation together. Sit with your spine erect, your hands in the Om Mudra on your thighs, turning your head to the left with a double exhalation. Bring your head back to the center. Using the sipping breath, draw the energy from the limbs to the trunk. From the trunk to the spine. From the base to the sun center. Move the energy out by a golden ball of light. Expand it and sweep it around to the left, behind you, in front of you. 3 times. Encase your being in all golden light. And now lift. Lift as high as you are able to the high place. Ascending further within the high place, you see a path leading up a mountain. Ascend very easily up that mountain. And halfway up, you find a clearing. Entering into the clearing, you see a shrine. Filled with light. Enter into the shrine. Breathe in the light. Walk to the back of the shrine and see the pool of light. Walk into the light. Feel your entire being covered with the light in the pool as you walk to a waterfall of light. All of the old dissolving away. Standing under the light. As the light pours through your being, down to your crown center, through your being, feel all of those thorns that you are attached to, watching away. Feel the thorns, the wounds that have cleaved to your being, healed and washed away. All of the thorns, the difficult karmas. Now your entire being filled with light. Inhaling the light. Walk forth from the light, anew, fresh, breathing anew. Walk above a little bit to light, through the pool, breathing the light. Feel yourself clothed anew. Walking forth from the shrine. Into the clearing. You see the ground is fresh, fresh with growth, with life, with green. And a little distance away, beckoning you, calling to you. A little hill, just a short distance away, calling your name. Tree of life reaches out its arms to you, its light to you, its comfort to you, its song to you. And easily you walk there. And as you approach, ask the tree of life to allow you to enter its aura, that you may become one with life. Om Hrim 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 Om Shem 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 Om Gum 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 Om. And you enter the aura. Enter the aura of the tree and feel its blessings. Within the shelter of life, know that thou art this. Om Tat Sat Om. Thou art that. Remember always, Aham Brahmasmi. Thou art the creator. Thou art the creative principle. Thou art the creative one. Bring ever greater wisdom, ever greater joy, ever greater non-violence or peacefulness into your life. Be happy. Let go of those thorns that are hidden, that can oftentimes cause the most pain. Just step back for a moment and let go. Life will pour its blessings upon you, my beloved. All of the help of life is there for you. You have but to quiet the mind and ask. In the right time and the right way, all that you wish will come to fruition. Perhaps not as quickly, but all that you wish will come to fruition. Think not just of this lifetime or this day. Act in this day to remember 7 days, 7 months, 7 years, 7 lifetimes for what you do today will still be blooming 7 times 7 into infinity. Concentration, meditation. May you find Samadhi. You will, upon your path that you have begun today. Samadhi will shower itself upon you and reveal itself unto you. Namaste, my beloved. Namaste.